Good afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. Thought I'd talk a little bit about cryptocurrencies today. Got a few links I'm going to share down in the description. I always like putting links down in the description for you guys. First one is an interview talking with a crypto investor who is of the mind that Visa and Mastercard type companies, these credit card companies, are going to be going out of business here in the next few years. They're going to get replaced with the cryptocurrencies or the central bank digital currencies or one of the other many blockchain type of technologies out there because they are much more efficient and less burdensome on both the consumer and the merchant. So right now, like these Visa, MasterCard type of transactions, they cost a lot of money. They cost both to the merchant and to the customer. As these transactions rack up, these companies are making a lot of money off of it when really all they're doing is just transferring one bit of value from one person to another, and that could easily be done with a central bank digital currency or, one of the other many cryptocurrencies that are out there. Now, I'm not trying to be an advocate for central bank digital currencies. I'm not trying to say, hey, this is a great idea or anything else like that. But I do believe that they will be coming into the future and you won't really have any other choice but to use it. So to be aware of what central bank digital currencies are and what cryptocurrencies are and the fact that they are going to be going into like mainstream use, it's probably a good idea to start either getting your hands on some so that you understand it, like especially when it comes to cryptocurrencies. I mean, you can't really get your hands on central bank digital currencies yet. They don't really exist, but they will be here in the next few years. I mean, even Mexico said that they're going to have a central bank digital currency by 2024. And you can go find you can just do Google searches of central bank digital currencies throughout the world, and you can see like many nations all over the place are working on their technologies, going into the beta programs, testing the waters. That's what they're doing. They're getting ready to go, to go digital. And it's pretty obvious when you look at places like China, who is already implementing some of these central bank digital currencies by paying some of the, like, say, government workers in central bank digital currencies, and then having particular cities be like test areas for the central bank digital currency to see how well it's used and how they use it, and people see what people's reactions are to it. Once it's in play, I doubt that anybody will even notice that there was a central bank digital currency introduction. Most people will just go about their day with their bank accounts and swiping their cards like any other day and not even know that they've, like, all of a sudden switched over to a digital currency as opposed to what our traditional system would be like. Now, it is kind of hard to wrap your head around all this digital currency versus like regular currency. Like, it's hard to take, like, what's the difference? I mean, if I can still go down and either put cash on the table or my card or the central bank digital currency card or whatever that is, what difference does it make between any of it? Well, nothing is going to make any difference in the beginning. Like I said, most people probably won't even notice or even care that it's taken place. But the major difference is going to come down the road when you realize that you can't get out of the system. That's where the difference is going to end up being. Now, most people, like I said, are probably just going to go right about their normal business and do the transactions, get paid, everything else like normal. But at some point, you're going to find where cash is going to be a nuisance, where putting your money into the bank is going to be, you're going to get charged a fee, and pulling money out of the bank, you're going to get charged a fee. And then keeping money in the bank is going to have a negative interest rate attached to it as well. And there'll be nothing you can do about getting your money out or all your money out, because you'll be locked into the system. And if the cash becomes burdensome and nobody wants to use it, then they really have you locked into the system because there's really no place else to go. This is where the idea of holding like gold and silver or one of the other many cryptocurrencies that are out there that is outside of the traditional banking system, or anything that the traditional banking system is even attempting to set up right now. These are the things that we need to learn about and understand before the whole system comes into play, because once the system comes into play and you're not in position, you're locked in. You're locked in where you're at. So now's the time to figure it out. And even like I noticed that, like, even a lot of like the government officials, like the Federal Reserve and some of the treasury and stuff like that, you're starting to hear where they are kind of warming up to the idea of using stable coins. And now a stable coin is essentially a cryptocurrency like all the rest of, well, not all the rest, but many, like similarly to a lot of the other cryptocurrencies that are out there. The only thing is it's supposedly tied to the US dollar. So for every one of these like particular stable coins that comes out, there's a $1 sitting somewhere like supposedly backing it. Now, I could see where the United States would just be tickled to have something like this, because as long as it's priced in US dollars, that's the only thing they really care about. You know, it doesn't matter if you're really using US dollars so long as you price it in US dollars, and that creates the demand for US dollars. Much like a lot of the contracts that are written all over the world, these are contracts like Evergrande, for example. They wrote a bunch of bonds in US dollars. Like they borrowed in US dollars and now they need to pay back in US dollars. That creates a demand for US dollars. The United States is like, hey, thanks for doing that. That's like, you know, strengthening up the dollar, or at least creating a demand for dollars. Not that it's going to be a good idea or anything like that, but you can see where if a situation like Evergrande starts spreading throughout the entire world, which they very well could, I mean, that's the contagion that, you know, a lot of people are talking about, that starts taking place, you can see where that's a liquidity crunch, and that's going to be a huge demand for dollars. So as long as the stable coins are actually backed by US dollars, I could see where the United States government would just be tickled about that. They would love it. Totally love it. So go and check out some of the articles that I have down in there, because you can see between this gentleman saying that they're going to like not ban, but Visa and Mastercard are just going to go out of business. Amazon in the UK is banning Visa credit cards. And I had it, at first I didn't quite believe it when I was reading some of the articles, because I think, well, sometimes this is like kind of blown out of proportion, or maybe not quite the accurate information. But from what I'm gathering, unless I'm wrong, it looks like here on the 19th that Visa UK is no longer going to accept Visa credit cards. They'll still accept the debit cards and, you know, the other type of credit cards that are out there. But Visa credit card itself, apparently they're planning on saying no more. We're not going to do this any longer. So yeah, it's starting to happen. You can see right now, central banks' digital currencies all over the world are starting to get established. Visa and MasterCard are cumbersome, and people are kind of irritated with it, and it's going to be heading out to pasture here before too long, and won't be used as much. And you can see it. The UK is already starting to, or the Amazon UK is going to, is already starting to implement some of these, like, getting rid of Visa or getting it out of their business models. So it's already starting to happen, and you can see it taking place. Now, one of the things that I do want to warn you about is that a lot of people are going to start getting scammed and lose their cryptocurrencies. And taken from somebody who both been scammed and lost my cryptocurrencies at one time, be sure to secure your private keys. If you are going to hold those cryptocurrencies yourself, secure your private keys. If you do not understand what securing your private keys are, get $10 worth of cryptocurrencies and figure it out. Just figure out how to secure your keys, do the research on it, learn about, where it is that you can buy cryptocurrencies, how to transfer them around, figure out what, stable coins are all about, because they're going to become a big deal here going into the future, especially if the government likes them. Then yeah, they're going to end up being a big deal. Learn all this stuff, but be sure to secure your keys. And I'm going to leave a link down in the description to an article. And now I don't know if I necessarily believe the story in this article. Apparently this trader had $1.6 million worth of cryptocurrencies in a wallet, and then he took like a screenshot of the passphrase, which is a bunch of different words. That's the key, essentially, is a bunch of different words. And he had taken like a screenshot of the passphrase and then went and got another phone, and then all the images didn't upload to his new phone, and now he can't access this $1.6 million worth of cryptocurrencies that he literally had, so he says by the article, like for just a few hours. None of that makes sense. Like, I cannot imagine that somebody would go and put that much money into something and not know how to secure it. If that was the case, then I guess lesson well learned. I don't know, man, but that's a terrible mistake to make. I mean, I thought it was bad when I lost $100 worth of cryptocurrencies that now would be worth a lot of money. I don't go back and look to see how much it would have been, but knowing that I had lost it, even at the time, it was only like, like I said, probably $100 worth. I can't imagine what it's worth today, and I make sure that I definitely have my cryptos secured, my passphrases, the wallets that I use. I don't keep it all in one place. Definitely spread it around, but secure your private keys. That's, God, I cannot put any more like emphasis on that. You have to do that. Okay. Um, be sure and check out the uneducatedeconomist.com website for links to the podcast and to all the different social medias out there. I will be heading to the Rebel Capitalist live event, heading to Houston here in just a matter of a few days. Oh man, okay. Here we go, guys. But if you want to follow me down to Houston, um, follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna try and post some stuff on Instagram. So yeah, Uneducated Economist. You guys let me know.